Hi guys, welcome back to Ash Talks Basketball, and today we're doing the NBA Power Rankings. We have 6 categories including favourites, contenders, playoffs, play-in, lottery, and my favourite, Brick for Vic. And with that being said, let's get into the video. The category we're starting off with is Brick for Vic. These teams are at the bottom of the barrel. They're going for the number 1 pick, and I'm going to go pretty fast with this because they're all bad and in the same boat. Starting off with the Rockets, the Jazz, the Thunder, the Hornets, the Detroit Pistons, and Orlando and San Antonio. All of these teams are at the bottom of the barrel. I think they should go for the number 1 pick, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the race for the worst team this year. The next one, I've got lottery. I don't think they'll be going for the number 1 pick, but they're going to be pretty low, and they're not good enough teams to really win that many games. The first team in this category, I've got the Brooklyn Nets. I know they've just traded away all of them, and they'll probably end up in the play-in, but I'm doing this as power rankings, so I think this team is not very good and should just be trying to develop their team right now and not be focusing on wins. The next team I've got here is the Los Angeles Lakers. I think they did a lot during the trade deadline, but I really don't think that's enough, and they'll just be in the lottery, missing out on the play-in just. And the final team, I've got the Indiana Pacers. They've been okay so far, but I really don't like their odds at making the play-in. There's so many other teams in the East that are going to take their spot. And that's all I've got for the lottery. In the play-in, for the West, I've got Minnesota and Portland. I think these two teams are both very talented, but the West has gotten so much more stacked after the trade deadline, and I think they're going to struggle to have enough wins. And in the East, I've got Chicago, who's been very disappointing, and the Wizards. I think the Wizards aren't good enough to be there, and I think the Chicago Bulls have just been too disappointing to be high enough. The next category is the playoffs. These teams are going to be in the playoffs, but I don't think they have a very high chance of winning the championship. The first team in this category, you may be calling me biased, but I have the Raptors. I know we've been bad, but if anybody's been looking at the standings lately, we're 9th. I think we have a very good chance of being inside the playoffs. The next team I have is the Atlanta Hawks. I think they're going to be bottom of the playoffs, but I still think they'll make it probably around where the Raptors will be. Then we have the Knicks. They have been surprisingly good this season. Julius Randle's coming off a 46-point game against the Wizards, and I think they're rolling. Everybody's really working well together, but I don't think this team is a championship contender, not even close, but I think they will make the playoffs very easily. The next team I have is the Sacramento Kings. First time they've been here in 18 years. I think they've been really, really good this year, but I think they're too young for winning a championship yet. The next team I have, and I think people will dislike me for saying this, I have the Clippers. I do not believe in the Clippers. I do not think they're going to be good. Kawhi Leonard is a liability. Russell Westbrook's Russell Westbrook. And Paul George cannot do it alone. I do not believe in this team, and I think they have minimal chance of winning the championship this year. The final team I have in this category is the Miami Heat. I think nobody's really cared about them all season. They're a playoff team. They'll always be a playoff team for the next year, but I still don't believe in them. I don't think they're a contender this season. Final category is the favourites. The 3 teams I think have the best chance at doing it. The first team I have is the Phoenix Suns. They failed against Milwaukee, but I think they have a serious chance and personally are the favourites for the title for me just after they add Kevin Durant. The next team I have, the Milwaukee Bucks. Just because of how good Giannis is, I think they'll always be one of the favourites. I think they could do it this year, but I think it's going to be difficult going up against the stacked Suns team. And then the final team I have is the Boston Celtics. This team is going for it this year. They failed last year. They no longer have Steph Curry in their way. I think they have a solid chance, but they're going to have to find it pretty difficult going up against teams like Milwaukee and Phoenix. And that's all I have for you today. So thank you for watching the video and have a nice day.